Hello, welcome back to Tier Zero Gaming. I'm Mike, joined today by Lewis Rowe and Chris Wolfe. We'll be going over the fourth Modern Horizons 3 draft for an FNM. And round one, off the bat, we have Ron Biermann on a Sultai deck versus Jacob Touchton on Is It Energy?
I believe it is energy.
I hate everything.
Yeah, this is the high quality content everyone comes here for. Is these jokes that everyone's heard, right?
That's how you do it, I guess.
Yep.
Alright, so Ron kind of not sticking to Eldrazi per se or any of the modified decks for the green-black, just kind of on Sultai good cards.
Good
So
stuff
I
in
didn't,
deck.
yeah, nothing really to label the thing. Jacob on relatively standard, but maybe not the most powerful in this format, Is It Energy. I find that energy, like the Is It Energy specifically, if you're the only one doing it, you can get kind of some really powerful decks, some really powerful cards, but if anybody else at the table winds up cutting into your game plan, the power level of the Is It deck just isn't where the Gruul Eldrazi or the Boros Energy decks are.
Yeah, I also agree. I think the Boros energy decks are a lot more powerful.
Yeah. We've seen Ron do this kind of week in and week out. 2-mana Dork. Guy that fixes his mana. Ron very aggressively takes his mana fixing. Usually winds up with a lot of landscapes, a couple of mana guys, and tends to be able to cast all of his spells. I see the Wastscape Battle Mage in his hand, which the Dryad helps him cast as well, being able to make the colorless.
Nice.
Alright. Jacob with one of the better rares to be able to play on curve, a Lelia on turn 3. Attacking into the Death Toucher, but, that's fine.
Definitely a
Yeah.
choice.
Absolutely. No, I like clearing off the Death Toucher. Ron, it cuts him off of colors, it cuts him off of his ramp. Yeah, it's not the best. You don't love trading your Lelia, but...
That is true.
Shouldn't get rid of his mana dork though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It might be the weirdest way to bolt the bird, but he sure did bolt the bird.
Yeah.
Now we gotta
Lelia the
witness to get back the mana dork if
Yeah,
wanted.
but if that's all we're doing with a witness, that's not the scariest witness
It's true.
I've seen in this format, Jacob's been able to do a pretty good job sculpting his hand. This looter going to town kind of every turn, right?
So far, started out with 4 energy, looted twice so far.
is a glimpse the impossible, I believe.
Yep.
Exile and then make some little dudes that make you a little bit more mana when you don't have those cards anymore.
Yeah. So that card was functionally 3 mana, make 3 mana,
Yes.
but he gets it for next turn.
Yeah.
So he just went from 3 to 6.
That's this format's nuts.
That is one card I did not expect to actually see in the modern format, but apparently Ruby Storm is having a heyday with it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Ruby Storm, the classic modern boogeyman type deck where when nobody's prepared for it, it's going to run over a tournament, and when everybody's prepared for it, it's going to put up a 30% win rate at the Pro Tour.
Oh yeah. Why is everyone mainboarding Deafening Silence? What's going on?
No.
So Ron here
Looks
cracks
like
a landscape,
Ron just rebuying a land.
evolves the witness, and then rebuys the landscape.
Yeah, so not even getting back the mana dork per se, just getting the land back, making sure to hit his land drops. The landscapes do a good job of fixing his colors as well. And, we get to get in for 4.
Ron definitely runs 17 lands pretty consistently, right? He
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he's been doing with Modern Horizons. I don't know if he's been playing 16. Like I said, I know he usually has, the weeks that we've seen him on camera, he's had a couple mana dorks. So it wouldn't surprise me tremendously if he was on 16 lands because he has enough other mana in his deck. But it also wouldn't surprise me if he's just, mana hungry, plays all 17.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't asked him,
Yeah.
and we don't ask for deck lists at FNM. So
That's totally fair.
So, a couple of things here. Unfortunately,
Nice.
this
Combat?
is a recorded video. At the end of Ron's turn, Jacob cast Tune the Narrative with a mountain, and then played Unfathomable Truths and made 3 Eldrazi spawns on his turn.
yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
So that line breaker is getting in for a little bit more than it should be. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Jacob mentioned to me that he found out after the fact that the draw 3. He thought that it made 3 spawns, and found out later that it didn't. So, hey folks, reading the card explains the card.
In fact,
Yeah, there's some kooky stuff in draft where it's like a lot of your removal is going to be sorcery speed rather than instant speed.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely going to be times where you get got by some obscure wording
Yeah.
or cards that like feel like they should be an instant
Yeah.
but are actually a sorcery.
Yeah. Oh man, they're buffing up all their creatures. Better take out that guy that's going to go kill me. Oh wait, that's a sorcery. Well, I'm hosed.
Okay, Eldrazi line elk.
Yeah, that is a 3/3.
I think my favorite thing about the elk aura is when that thing finally dies, we just have a 3/3 now.
yes.
Who does that come into play? Under?
Ron controls the aura.
So
It is
it's-
already
it's-
in play.
So it's then Ron's
Yep.
3/3.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's disgusting. I have not played with that card yet, but now I kind of want to elk some stuff.
Yeah.
I think the bestow cost on that thing is 2 as well, right?
Yeah,
I believe, yeah,
It's
that is
basically
correct.
at rate, but it doesn't cantrip, I believe.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I've been looking
So,
at.
Jacob has
yeah.
drawn many cards. And is drawing many more cards.
I think he'll run out.
And
I mean, technically he will.
yeah, looks like making certainly seems that he is doing the thing that he thinks the card does. And Ron very clearly not familiar enough with the card here to correct him.
It is a green.
Yeah.
Very awkward. That's a lot of extra mana
Yeah.
and blockers.
Yes.
I mean, the card's good. It's not that good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the most important things when you're playing with either new players or just a new format is going through and just reading every card.
Well, unfortunately, this is the 4th draft, and I think Jacob has played in most of them.
Yeah.
He has played almost explicitly Rakdos in that time.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing a new deck to himself, so the thing when we were playing draft tonight, it was, hey, there's a new player, and I went through and made sure he hit all his triggers. But if it's an experienced player I know who's drafting, I may or may not just, remind them about all of their triggers. It's like, you know what that card does. You put it in your deck.
Well, very clearly. And this isn't the first time we've seen mistakes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But again, these are just small local events.
Yeah,
Not everybody, experienced or otherwise, knows what every card does.
yeah.
Nope. Last week, or last week's video, the Modern Horizons draft number 3. Mm-hmm. I cast a Writhing Chrysalis without paying red mana. Didn't realize it until watching the video, and you pointed it out.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't do anything. I had the red mana. I just didn't use it. And I didn't use that red mana for anything else. So, like, nothing
Yeah.
changed. It's just I didn't tap the red mana to cast my Writhing Chrysalis.
Yeah.
It
And
happens.
this is, experienced players and mistakes happen. So we try to be
Stormdraker.
somewhat forgiving, even if it's, if nobody's doing anything that appears to be malicious, if nobody's doing something that, looks like we're blatantly cheating.
Is that
an
casting-
interesting
That is a
casting
choice that we
Stormdrake,
just made.
countering it.
Yeah.
And then and then not giving your opponent a 3/3 in exchange for your 3/2/3.
So we decided to make a 2/2 bird instead
Yeah.
of steal our opponent's witness.
Well, I suppose you're only adding to your own board, so I can see maybe the thought process behind that. But it's a game action you can take.
It makes a 2/2 bird, and also because of the amulet,
Yeah.
pains Ron for 2.
That's true.
That's fair.
Ron is at a pretty low life total. Iwan stays exiled. We get a spawn.
Yep.
Are we not getting the spawn from the glimpse? Because that's a little funny.
Bolt the E-Wit.
I think it triggers at the end step.
It does, but he already moved the card away. But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, Galvanic Iteration, your thing. We get in for 5 here, and now if we ever cast a card off the amulet for the rest of the game ends.
Upon combat.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
Nice.
We get to kill the thing, which gives us our elk, which lets us block.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is disgusting.
That
I'm 100% making a deck around this. These cards are legal and modern.
they sure are. They're not good enough for modern, but they are legal.
That's fair.
No, I
As
was
Bloomberg got previewed, and they had some frog or whatever
because he was attached. Yeah.
that returns a guy to your hand, and I was
So,
building some
We
decks
did,
around
in
that.
fact, miss this spawn. Too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
well, that makes up for one of the extra 4 we had.
We.
But that was definitely a good play by Ron there.
Yeah. I think I might just make a green good stuff deck, which it seems like Ron has also built here.
You know, we called this deck Is It Energy, and it sure is using a bunch of energy.
Uh-huh.
But man, is it making a bunch of spawn tokens while we're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, we retroactively remembered our spawn.
To be fair, nothing with the game state actually changed.
True.
Yeah.
No, like, getting that spawn is fine. It's
Right.
the other 4.
Yes.
So yeah, basically, Ron kind of has to fade this amulet at this point. And there is still a 2/2 flyer on Jacob's side of the board, which poses some problems. Ron with a looter of his own.
We're sharing the energy card at this point.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like it. It's efficient.
Yeah.
Another Tune the Narrative. Jacob is churning through his deck.
If nothing else.
I mean, that's 2 glimpses, 2 or 3 tunes, 2 of the 5-mana draw 3, the
Unfathomable
amulet,
truths.
Unfathomable Truths. There's at least 1 deep analysis in his graveyard right now.
I think in the Is It handbook, it says if you take enough game actions, you might just win. And
As a proud member of the Is It League,
Yeah.
I resemble this remark. That's a draw 2.
yeah. What happens when he runs out?
Draw
That's the real
2, pay
question
2
here.
energy.
Or discard at random.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
F
okay.
these cards.
Plenty of energy, but we're gonna discard.
Is it discard 2? I thought it was discard 1 at random. Hold up.
All 3 cards in library. Yeah.
Ultimately, I think it is
yeah.
discard 1, but it doesn't actually matter. I
That's
don't think
probably
that second
true.
mountain makes a difference.
Yeah, Ron has to survive 3 turns here.
Ron is kind of endangered to some flyers, though, because
Yep. Here's that 2/2 bird coming
he
in.
is just dead in the air next turn if
Yeah, but
nothing
like,
else changes.
we were worried about Jacob activating the amulet and potentially getting the extra points of damage off of the amulet. He only gets 1 more amulet activation.
It's true. He only has 3 cards left in his library.
That's what I'm
also.
saying.
Yeah.
All right, there's a spawn, which is a colorless mana, which means we're getting to kick this Wastscape Battle Mage here.
Which doesn't...
Bounces a flyer.
Oh, yeah. And
Specifically
blows
that-
up the amulet.
Yeah.
We don't care about the amulet at this point, I
Yeah,
guess,
I mean,
but
you might as well blow it up. There's no reason to not do.
it's true.
Unless you save the extra 2 mana. I suppose.
So, all right. So Ron right now has the ability to bounce the token if he has a way of dealing with the dragon. If he doesn't have a way of dealing with the dragon, then presumably he kind of has to bounce it because it's in for 4, which is lethal by itself. So,
Battle Mage has flash, so I kind of like just doing nothing.
Draw card, discard.
the card has flash.
I believe so.
I'm almost 30 drafts into this format at this point.
I thought it did. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
believe Ron just pulled a Nadu off the top.
Oh, that blocks. That blocks real well.
So it looks like.
All right. So we loot, we discard the Eldrazi that we can get back later. That's fine. So, yeah, we need to figure out how to not be dead to a lethal flyer. Oh, that... Hang on.
What's the full name of that card?
Which card?
The Battle Mage?
Wastscape? Thank you. 5, 6, 7. Okay. So Ron has the Riddle Sphinx, the Riddle Keeper,
I was wrong.
which he can emerge off of his looter and lock down both flying creatures here while presenting a 5/5 with flying.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
There's only 3 turns. I think that there's a clock here.
I don't care about the clock. Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
care about our clock. If that, or you mean Jacob's own clock ticking
His,
down?
his own clock,
His
yeah.
doomsday clock here of 3 cards left in library.
He sure did put all those draw spells
Yeah.
in his deck.
They're now good.
I love them. They're wonderful.
I mean, if you didn't draw your whole deck, you didn't really know what the potential for that was.
Boy, okay. Well, that's a whale.
I was indeed wrong. The Battlescape Mage does, or the Wastscape Battle Mage does not have flash.
Okay, I feel
My
better.
apologies.
All right, we cast the whale. That's fine. That doesn't fly. I always think it has flying because it's a in cloud, but
Right.
does not in fact fly. We untap.
That will would have been a lot better.
We
about
have
12 turns
Nadu
ago.
to play.
Yeah,
Probably
looks like
pay
it.
all the appropriate colors. Okay, figured it out. All
With
right.
green and 1. That's a
That's-
recipe for disaster.
We now have 2 flying blockers.
Yeah. Ron is stabilized.
Ron wins.
Faster.
I have a trigger. Just cast your second spell.
Yeah.
Sure.
Stabilized, so
Proliferate
he's not
away,
just
buddy.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Untapping.
vibing.
Let's draw the last card in the library, I believe.
Right.
There's still
How
2.
dare
No.
you be flying?
Now that's his last one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think his hand is all lands. Is it just me?
That too.
That sure looks like no spells.
Oops, all
We
lands.
drew all these cards, and none of them are actually spells.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, just so
To game 2, it looks like.
dead.
Yeah.
Well, 4 extra Eldrazi spawn. Not enough to cover the gap here. Ron finding a way to stabilize right at the last minute, really.
30.
Yeah. If he didn't stabilize there, he would be dead.
Yeah, that's generally how stabilization works.
2 lethal fires.
Yeah.
I've never almost drawn out.
If he didn't die there, he would be dead.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
the great observation,
Yes.
Wolf.
Well, that's what they pay me for. Wait, no one's paying me for
I'm
it.
not paying anybody.
Wait, you're getting paid?
You guys are getting paid?
No.
Man.
All right. Well, Ron, with another neat mythic in his hand, I see a Sorin somewhere in there. Jacob leading off with Tune the Narrative, which I imagine is going to happen quite a bit. There were at least 2, maybe 3 in there.
I feel like he had a full play set.
I was gonna say I feel like he has a full play set as well.
That's wild.
It's a common, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll see a few of those, and if you just want to draw through your deck, you can just pick them up when no one else is playing blue.
I think he took every single Tune the Narrative that
I
he saw.
think he took every
Like,
card that said the word draw a card.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, draw, exile, do the thing.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. Lely on turn 3 again.
yep, right on time.
No, this one's even better. There's no Death Toucher to trade with.
Oh, that's great.
This one's
way
going to be a
better.
4/4 before Ron gets to really do anything about it.
But
Oh,
Ron
yeah.
does have a 2-mana Death Toucher that can just trade with it.
I mean,
so-
yeah, that's assuming we don't untap and Galvanic Discharge it or similar, right? Like,
True.
And we see an elk.
That's not great. It's
it
still a
worth-
4/4.
Yeah,
true.
well, is it worth elking? That's the real
Yes,
question here.
yes,
Yeah,
it is.
There it is.
It is now just a 4/4. Can't get any
That's-
bigger.
Yeah. And if you kill
It
it,
was
you
going to
get
be a 4/4 this turn anyway, and it might have drawn a card.
There's
So
a free elk in the mix.
that's a whale,
Yeah.
not a flying whale.
It's true.
Notably, can proliferate the plus
To
one,
be
plus one
fair,
counters
though,
here.
It is turn 4, and on turn 5, Jacob will be attacking for 11,
Yeah, that's
with Ron already being at 13.
12 if he proliferates.
yeah.
It's true.
I'm playing out some blockers.
Lelia might be an elk, but it does have a real counter on it.
That is true.
Ron noticeably only playing one spell,
Yeah.
playing around the 2 spells each
Uh-huh.
turn, which might be much more of Jacob's plan. Load
What
up your deck
happened?
with cantrips.
There's that
proliferate.
discharge.
Yeah, clear out a blocker.
That's proliferate attack for 12. Ron's at 1 with no board.
Yeah.
I think Jacob may have proliferated twice that turn, and
I
there's-
believe he casts. Did he cast a Tune in the Narrative and then?
No.
yeah, he cast
get
Tuna
energy?
Narrative first,
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
and then Galvanic Discharge, so he should have only
Yeah.
proliferated once, though.
Yeah,
not
Ron was
twice.
very dead.
Yeah, he was still dead regardless, so it didn't really matter.
I'm gonna have a chat with Jacob about reading cards.
When the whale comes out, kind of on time, it's a lot better than when it's the 4th from the last card in his library.
It's true.
So that's
Very
it
true.
seems like the initial intent was, oh, look at this cool
Oh,
whale.
that's a
Let's go
mulligan
kill
of 5
people.
from Jacob. 2 cards just went to the bottom.
Yeah.
We have attuned the narrative.
Well, I wonder if he's gonna draw a card.
I am
He might even add 2 energy.
not surprised.
I know, yeah.
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 I was like, wait a minute.
No, hold on. Where'd you get those cards from?
Island go.
Yeah, attune's an instant.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out.
Could be anything. Even a 1-mana
Make it
counter
2/2?
spell, which totally exists.
Make a 2/2.
Yeah.
We have a grizzly bear.
There. Yeah.
On your instant.
So, Gravedigg being the versatile card that it is, I have seen that mode more often than I thought I would when initially, looking at the card.
Okay. I don't see the card tremendously often, but just 2 mana, 2/2. Just if you don't have anything on your curve, this is the easiest block of all time.
Second main.
That's a green card.
It's a bite spell. Looks like.
Okay.
Oh, that's the sorcery speed one. Yeah.
Right.
But yes,
Cannot
it was
for
in
my
fact a green card.
Yes.
Didn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm a little worried about it.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Didn't end up mattering.
Can't do the game plan if we never get to the game plan.
All right.
It's a zombie.
So
I think this is
both
some-
players
yeah.
missing a land drop at this point.
Yeah, I'm with Ron. If you had 3 mana here, you could build to more, but maybe outpace in the mid game if your opponent also gets mana screwed.
Yeah, but Jacob has shown that he can just draw through his deck. Like, he's gonna hit land drops if he really, really wants to.
Yeah.
I'm in to trade this zombie if I'm
Oh,
wrong,
yeah.
though. I'm in to attack and offer the trade at least.
For sure.
We're elking our zombie to make it
I-
a 3/3.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. I have elked my own creature at least half the time I've cast this card.
His hand. I don't.
To be fair, the only time I've put it in my main deck, I also had Nadu, and I was elking my own thing to trigger Nadu.
That's fair.
All right.
Yeah. It triggers the Nadu.
It also makes Eldrazi spawns relevant, which is worth noting. Just
Oh,
elk
yeah.
your Eldrazi spawn,
Here's a
and
3/4.
then 3/3.
Oh, 3/3. No,
It's
no,
not +3
that's-
+3. It just turns it into a 3/3 elk.
I was thinking about that earlier, and I had to stop myself from talking about it. And then I did the exact same thing just then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Checks out.
There we go. I was like, where's the discard from the activation of the looter?
We were figuring it out.
He was Jacob was also showing the camera the fact that he didn't
Missing
draw a
land
land.
drops, even though he's drawn 14 cards or whatever.
Yes.
yes.
So that's Expanding Ooze, I want to say is the name of that card.
Yes.
Really cool modify creature. 3 mana, 3/3, so reasonable rate anyway. Adapt for 2, and then when it attacks, you can put a +1/+1 counter on a modified creature. So it can target itself and just be a 5/5 the turn it's attacking, which is already not bad. In this case, it has the option to put the counter on the zombie token that is currently elked, because the elk counts as being modified.
Hopefully, Ron does realize that on his next attack, since he's got the elk on top of the zombie.
Well, Jacob seems to have found a land, is under a decent amount of pressure, though. And paying 3 life for that deep analysis is going to feel real bad here in a minute. Because we're getting hit for 8 this turn.
Yes.
And our counterspell being face up because of the amulet. Not the best.
Puts a counter on itself.
That's fine. So, yeah, Jacob at 6 and still kind of like digging to find plays, which is one of the traditional problems with an Is It deck, is sometimes you just spin your wheels a lot. You just spin, and never really commit anything to the board, and you just kind of sit there and die, even though you've taken 47 game actions.
Yep.
All of the game actions are Jacob's.
That's the impossible here.
Yeah. Well, we already played our land for turn, which means the 2 drops are nothing. We tapped all of our red mana, so we can't play this Simulacrum. So we make 3 guys.
3 blockers.
So we're basically dead to an Oozewag.
Yes.
Oozewag more or less murders us on the spot. Other than that, Ron's gonna just have to chunk through all of these blockers.
Which is definitely what's about to happen right now.
Yeah, I mean, we get through 2 of them a turn. I don't think Ron
Sideways.
realizes he can put a counter on the elk because of the way he has chosen to display it.
I was just about to say that.
I had a door.
Sure.
Sweet.
Soul Ring Turtle.
Oh, it got countered.
Soul Ring
and
Turtle
now
gets
it's a 2/2.
countered, and Ron now has a 2/2 flyer.
Right?
That might be worse. I'm not sure. I guess we get to go a card deeper because of it, so that makes some sense.
But now your opponent has a 3-turn clock because you gave it to him.
I mean, yeah.
That whale sure does not fly to block.
It sure looks like it does.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it go.
It's all the cloud.
It
Why shouldn't it
is
fly?
a cloud. It's not on a cloud. It's literally a cloud.
Your lands.
Dreamtide whale. It like if you can't fly in your dreams, I don't know where you're supposed to be able to fly.
Hey, I'm still at
Is it
3.
what it
I'm
is?
still at
Look
3,
at
so
it.
it's
The
fine.
half of it
It's
that's
fine.
out of water
Yeah.
is a cloud.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
More glimpse.
Yeah, these cards don't matter.
Yeah.
We can play the line breaker, I guess.
I don't believe we
Aren't those
can.
spawned? We can
okay,
sacrifice
there was
one, right?
Okay, alright.
I'll move to my end step. Make 2 more calls.
Yeah.
You want to attack with the guy?
No. I really don't.
No. Okay.
Yeah, 2 mana plus a spawn is a line breaker. We could have attacked, I guess, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. Yeah, thank you. We can see it on the camera now. Woo!
Hooray.
I don't even know whose dice these are. Somebody just left.
Looks at this point like Ron just needs a way to close out this game. The flyer is going to get there, but it's going to take a second.
Especially when playing Commander.
We can attack with both. We can pump the elk if we realize that we can pump the elk. Did we figure it out?
Even if we... he appears to have not targeted anything with the attack this time.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Okay.
All right, we throw away some stuff. We're throwing away our looter in... Oh, we
Okay,
all right.
there it is.
We did not figure out that we can target the elk. Yeah, sure. It's a second expanding ooze. For bonus points, I think Ron should adapt and then have them target each other instead of targeting themselves.
Or just both of them on this next turn target the elk that he has, or the zombie that he has not targeted the entire game. Just
That would
to
also
come
be
out
good.
Of, yeah,
That would. We found a flying blocker.
it's a 3-2.
This
It's a trade. It's fine.
Trade is all we want.
Yeah.
That's all we need is a trade. Although we do eventually have to figure out how to deal with this now 7/7 expanding ooze.
Chomp, trade, chomp, take 3. 4.
It's got to be 3 because the expanding ooze is going to be a 4/4 when it adapts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then they should both pump the
Yeah,
zombie.
They should make it so that the zombie is a lethal attacker,
if
but
he remembers.
we did not.
Okay.
So we're just making 2 very large oozes.
we get two
Which,
large
to be
boys.
fair, we have a 6/6 and a 7/7.
Yeah.
Like that's not getting beat anytime soon. Okay.
Okay. Well,
All right. These are
Sure.
decisions that have been made.
He goes back up.
Everything dies. The elk sticks around.
Unless you want to block different.
you can
Okay.
almost see the hesitation to see what's his cards.
Well, no lie. The way the elk was represented, it wouldn't surprise me if Jacob forgot that it was a zombie.
Yeah. It's still, well, I think he probably was trying to take out the elk because it was a 3/3 rather than the bird,
Yeah, but like
which was a 2/2.
we could block everything else for
this is-
some amount of time. This is whale Lelia concede. Nope, whale skycat concede.
Yeah. There's the math is not working out here.
Math ain't mathin'.
Looks like that's probably game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Show the way we never got to cast it. We were on the back foot the whole time. Ron takes round 1, 2-1.
Green.
Yeah.
GG's Ron. Jacob. That card only makes 1 spawn. Round 2, David Schenck versus Gabriel Hipp. Woo!
Let's do it.
All right, David on a more traditional Gruul Eldrazi. This is the kind of thing that we're used to seeing for anybody who's been drafting Modern Horizons 3 for a while. This is probably the best deck in the format. Gruul Eldrazi, you've got Ramp, spawning, Writhing Chrysalis, is the best common in the set by a pretty wide margin. You still get to play things like Galvanic Discharge. Any of the other Eldrazi payoffs are great. Writhing Chrysalis makes use of all of your spawn, no matter what else you're doing with them. Deck's great. Let's go. Gabriel Hipp, Grixis Affinity. He has been playing Rakdos Affinity. He's been one of a couple players around here that is like real locked in on the cheap aggressive synergies that deck provides. This week, I think more of a splash, but still called his deck Grixis, so that's what we put in the bar.
If I recall correctly, we both ended up on Grixis Affinity this week,
Oh,
which was a little unfortunate. If I recall correctly, I could be thinking about a different week.
all right. David just kind of doing Eldrazi things. 2/2 into a 3/3 extra mana. Still has the ability to adapt at a later date. Gabriel on a Sarpedian Simulacrum into... Nope, it's gone. Left my brain.
All I can
Amass 3!
All I can tell you is it's a 3 mana enchantment that amasses 3, and whenever you draw 3 cards in a turn,
The
it
third
also
card.
amasses.
The third card.
Yeah, it keeps amassing.
Not whenever you
Super
draw
cool.
3, because otherwise I could brainstorm 3 times and trigger it 3 times.
Sure. When
The
you draw your
third
third
card.
card in a single turn.
Man, imagine this card. It would actually be good if it said every time you draw 3.
Oh,
This
man.
card is good and limited. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mindless Conscription.
There
sure.
we go.
Yep, that's the card.
David's hand double Fang Flames, so I like his odds of being able to attack a lot.
Yeah, sure, he's gone. He's just baited to die.
Yeah.
Swing for six.
But
In for
that guy?
6. A third of your life total, Mr. Hipp. Oh boy, we have 2 spawn because we adapted and we're still sitting on the repurposer. The one the repurposer made. We will gladly take 1. We have a land and a 7 drop in our hand, and that sure looks like what turn 5 is going to look like.
Here's David being nice and showing the camera. That's his plan next turn, just pointing at the card.
I love this. We got to
Null
evoke a Null
Drifter.
Drifter and make
Yeah.
a 3/3. It's pretty cute. I'm here for it.
Null Drifter's fun.
Null Drifter is wonderful. I like that card a lot.
I can't wait to have that as a payoff for Modern this week. It shouldn't be,
Alright,
but
Mountain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Do we have double green? Is that a landscape?
Stack 2 guys.
Hold up. Is that a landscape? That's a
That
landscape.
is a landscape.
That means we don't have double green.
It's green blue.
Yeah.
hybrid, correct?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, but we have
That
red,
one.
red, red, colorless green.
That's fun.
Okay.
Certainly not the worst thing we've even had this video. Yeah, I'll just proliferate twice for
Relatively
free.
new formats.
Yeah.
No.
Cards
isn't.
are new.
Nope. Month old.
No?
Yep,
Alright.
Here we go.
I was trying.
Nope.
Perennial Ram, Banded Popper.
Nope.
so
I'm just
good.
disappointed.
Yeah. That is, in fact, a card that is banned in Popper.
Pre-banned, in fact.
Wow.
Didn't even get a chance to see the light of day in Pauper.
So is that guy from Ikoria, the companion that goes in every red blue commander deck.
That card was never going to be legal in
I
Pauper
know.
because it's not a
Well,
common.
in command. So are other cards.
I can't
That
recall.
was my argument.
Can't recall any card that was pre-banned in Pauper in a long time.
Cranial Plating itself is a card that, if you gave it a creature attached to it, would be just nuts in Pauper. So it's a nice homage, and I'm sure it works out for the draft format that this is a common. But Wizards of the Coast probably does not just exclusively design cards for Pauper because they don't need to. Here we go. Here's another.
What's a popper?
No,
What's a Pauper?
the whole reasoning that they gave
Yeah.
behind pre-banning this card made absolute sense because
Yeah. Pauper's a fan format. It doesn't. It shouldn't be designed for. It's we get what we have, and we're happy generally. I mean, unless we're not,
yeah, it's fair.
unless there's a Swift Spear that's running rampant.
It's
Has it ever
it's
really been
banned,
Swift
yeah.
Spear?
Yeah, it was never really Swift Spear. There was a problem in Pauper.
Exploit that.
The aggressive red decks had so many other ways to
Skilla.
do all that. There we go.
Alright.
Next game
Exploit
on.
away an Eldrazi token to steal a thing with a Cranial Ram. The Cranial Ram is still controlled by Gabriel.
It wasn't a Skilla then.
No, it was the exploit guy.
Okay. I know what you're starting with.
Alright, so Gabriel on the play this game. Let's hope he can start off with a 1-drop. As we've discussed in other drafts, the affinity list really wants to start on a 1-drop. 1-drop into Cranial Ram into the Pigeon is one of the best starts the deck has access to.
Yeah.
And it has 3 different 1-drops that it can lead on between the Simulacrum, the Terramander, and the Transmigrant.
Yeah, if you don't have access to the full backlog of just cards that work well with Affinity and Artifact lands, you're really trying to curve out just as
Well, there's
as
no
fast as
artifact
you
lands in
can.
this format, so I'm not worried about those at all.
That's what I'm saying. It's if you're trying to mimic what you have historically with Magic, so a nice curve out is just going to get you into whatever payoff you want to have at a higher. Whether it's a Frogmere Enforcer.
No,
it
my
just
payoff is
gets
my
you to go
2-drop.
faster.
My payoff is my
Yeah.
2-drop and the Pigeon. Those are the 2 payoffs. We don't have to go higher than that.
Past that.
You can shake your head all you want, Lewis. It's a flying rat.
It makes
rat
me
with
laugh
wings.
every time you call it a pigeon. I'm sorry.
It's a rat with
The
wings. Look at the
Pigeon.
art.
It's right in front of your face. Looking at the art, explains the card.
It makes me laugh every time you call it a pigeon. That's all.
Get used to it. I'm not going anywhere.
Also, even though Gabriel's deck is titled Crisis Affinity, I don't remember seeing any blue cards last game.
this is a
So
blue
like
card.
I
There
was
you go.
super shocked when he played the island. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, what's happening?
We're doing a Pondering Mage thing. Yes, that's
Serum
exactly
Visionary.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that card quite a bit, if I'm being honest.
I like Serum Visionary a lot in this format as well. It's really good.
I feel like when I'm searching in Scryfall, I'm going to keep finding Serum
Second
Visionary
Terramander.
rather than Serum Visions, in the same way that I always find Pondering Mage before I find Ponder, and it's probably just going to annoy me for the next 20 years
Ever.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never going to go away.
No,
In
it's
fact,
not.
it's probably going to get worse. They're going to be like, you know what? We need a second Pondering Mage, and they're just going to.
So one
Two
more
Ponder, two
land,
Mage.
and Gabriel can start adapting these Terramanders.
Yeah.
So 2 Terramanders and a Vexing Bauble in play, so each one of them costs 2 less to adapt, and
Yep.
never mind.
Galvanic Discharge for all 3, it looks like.
Disregard
No,
everything
no,
that I
no.
was
I
just.
think he put his dice off the playmat, so it's off camera, unfortunately. David should have 2 energy left over after murdering a Terramander.
Floating. Exile him.
And-
Another one.
Well, there went our plan of
Adapt him.
getting some Terramanders.
Dude, and I'll swing.
Bonk.
Cash.
Yeah. Getting in there for a little damage when you can.
Draw, yeah. I
That's
like.
a Power Stone. Okay.
Yes, it was a Worn Power Stone. So he floated double colorless with it, used one of it to cast the Fang Flames, and then the other one of it to adapt the Brood Scale, using 1 mountain and 1 forest to do so. So, a nice, efficient use of mana there.
Disruptor Flute, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Disruptor Flute. I'm not sure what we name here.
3 more to cast, and activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cannot be activated unless they're mana abilities.
Warp Tusker, so you're making mine significantly more expensive to cast.
Correct.
Alright, it appears the card named was Warp Tusker, so if we cycle the Warp Tusker, it suddenly costs 6 to do so, and casting it puts it to 10, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swing 2.
So, Gabriel making specifically Warp Tusker a nigh unplayable card at this point. We did see one of them out of David last game, though he cast it on a very late turn where it was nearly irrelevant.
5, 6, 7. Two of these guys.
Yeah.
Swing 3.
Yep.
Cash turn.
Yep. Gabriel drawn for turn.
Swamp.
Play another swamp. That's yep, tapping for 3. And we are evoking another Null Drifter.
And we have 4 swamps in our
Wow.
hand, and we're just off it.
Yeah, I consider that.
Alright, so
could
David
open a
takes
Null
round
now.
2,
What was the top card?
and back on camera again for round 3 versus Mr. Michael Peditto, the man who complains every chance he gets.
Never not complaining.
Well, if he could hear you, he could complain about how much you're complaining about his complaining.
I did not complain. I'm just stating facts.
That's about right.
Alright, so Peditto also on the Gruul Eldrazi deck, so we have a Gruul Eldrazi mirror. This draft is a 4-round draft, so we did have somewhere between 9 and 11 players in this pod, as that's the only way to get a 4th round.
Ah, yeah.
It's true.
Were they across from each other in the table position? Or
I
were
have
they
no
right next-
idea.
Oh, okay. It's worth a
Likely
question.
not, considering
Yeah.
this is round 3 and they're just now being paired against each other.
I mean, that's theoretically when...
Or even like
Oh, yeah, that's
near
when
but across kind of thing.
Beginning of
Yeah.
my first upkeep was
Far enough away that you'd get some access to
choose
cards.
one, put it on top
So you're
of
not
it,
just
Oh,
just
that's
competing
fair.
next door to
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, but it could also be the person next to you. So, anyway, don't know where he was sitting.
Yeah, you know.
Doesn't really matter. They're both on the Gruul Eldrazi deck. Mike's starting off with a Devourer of Destinies as a pregame action. So he revealed it pregame, and then the ability happens during your upkeep. So David took his turn 1, played his Forest. Then on Mike's turn, he gets to look at the top 4 cards of his library, exile up to all of them, but you know, he can keep one of them at most on top of his deck and exile the rest. And we're just in with a Flame Surfer. So, turn 2 comes into play tapped and attacking. Rocket powered Turbo Slug.
I love that card in this format, by the way.
The Flame Surfer?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Alright, so David this game on Dryad into Power Stone, so we're setting up for some pretty large turns coming up if we've got any of our big mana payoffs.
7 mana next turn.
Yeah,
Would have been 7 mana next turn.
6 if we have a land drop. Mike shooting down the Mana Dork when there's a Worn Power Stone, I guess if he doesn't have a play to develop his own board. I'm not sure if it's worth it to shoot 1 mana when opponent is showing that much already, but could be that he's just scared of the 7s in particular, since there are several of them in the format. I believe all of the cycling Eldrazi are 7 mana exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so. Writhing Chrysalis for Mike, just as we said,
This thing is just now the thing.
one of, if not the best, like, it's, according to 17 Lands data, it's the 4th best card in the set, and the only things better than it, win rate-wise, are Guide of Souls, Amped Raptor, and, Flage.
So,
Yeah.
mythic,
Guide of Souls is a rare,
uncommon.
yeah.
Okay, rare, uncommon, mythic.
Yes.
And this
And
this common is
yes.
fourth best, yeah.
And only, like, fractions of percentage points behind Flage,
Look,
which is wild.
I'm just saying Pauper's a viable format. Think of the commons.
No,
Okay. Don't think of the commons.
I promise.
All right.
The only time I'm thinking about commons is while I'm drafting.
You take that Colossal Dread Mask every single time.
Good luck. Path of Annihilation. This card,
Is bounce spell?
no. This is a 4-mana enchantment that on ETB makes 2 spawns.
boy.
Then all of your Eldrazi are Birds of Paradise.
This is terrifying.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Oh, just wait.
Oh no.
But wait, there's more.
When it comes to Eldrazi spawns, that means they're Birds of Paradise that can also sacrifice for colorless after you tap them for mana. So the 2 that came into play have Summoning Sickness because they just came into play. But we have 7 mana. We just cast our 4-drop for turn and we have 7
Oh
mana.
man, that's disgusting.
Also put 4 counters on our
Here's a guy.
the Devourer of Destinies that we had in our opening hand that we
Here he
revealed.
is. Goodbye, Germ Token.
So 4 counters on our Writhing Chrysalis, plus a Devourer to exile the mask, not the
Yeah.
Germ Token.
Yeah.
You have a very good deck there.
The
Germ Token just died
dies.
of its own accord,
That,
yes.
that was what I was referencing.
I don't think this flyer stacks up to this board.
Considering Writhing Chrysalis also has reach for
I
whatever
think
reason.
that Writhing Chrysalis is attacking.
It's fair. Me too. But it does have reach for whatever reason.
This is an attack for 12.
It's an angry Chrysalis.
12 an Annihilator one? Or does that card not have an
I
Annihilator?
don't believe
Okay.
Devourer has Annihilator. It's a cast trigger exile colored permanent.
Play Wolfe.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I.
Here's another 6/6. This one has trample.
It's true.
1 to 20. Man, vote in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this game?
I believe this game is over.
Yeah.
At this point.
I'm just trying to be nice today.
I'm in for the funny play. Let's go.
Okay. We can exploit
So I have to sack
so that we can
this.
get some damage in.
No, I'm gonna sack him.
Yeah, sack itself. Yeah, there you go.
Exploit yourself.
Gives you an
Yeah.
extra attacker. Let's go.
Wee.
My 3 energy.
No perfect for you, Mr.
Yeah.
Peditto.
I did damage.
Yeah.
Concede.
Give me that card
Give
back.
me back my creature.
Judge, he's not playing a legal deck. Well, you stole his card last round.
No stealing. Everything's okay.
Yeah, I saw a lot of
I
good.
gained control of it. It goes
Yeah.
into my deck now,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like anti, but worse.
No.
you stop it.
Anti, but you have to give it back.
No.
Man.
I'll try it.
What's the point?
Strictly worse anti-dot deck. This is gonna be my Ragavan deck. Oh man.
So,
Leading on a
tap land versus
dual
tap land.
face
Let's
land.
go.
Yeah. Sure does.
I
fix
love the
colors.
modal dual-faced lands.
Oh, me
That's
too.
great.
I love them so much.
Yeah, they should. There should be more uncommons of these.
I mean,
I know there are more now, but when it was, you have a bolt land or you have tap land with Zendikar Rising and all that.
nothing changed. You still have bolt lands and tapped lands.
Yes, but now you have,
More bolt lands?
but you have 2-color tap lands,
Yes.
which is another thing for Oops All Spells.
I mean, that is a true statement.
Yes. I mean, I know you're not just running the tap lands for Oops All Spells, but it's a thing that you can do now.
My favorite thing that I've seen so far for Belcher, because Belcher's a real deck. Don't anybody
Oh no,
ever say anything different.
no, you gotta respect both.
Is mono blue?
Oh,
All right.
where's
There are enough
where's
modal
the mountain?
dual-faced cards that we
where's
can
the-
play mono blue Belcher now.
Oh jeez. Oh, you got your Force of Negation too to protect your own. Oh man, that's terrifying.
Trying to wrap my head around mono blue Belcher, and I just
Yeah.
don't think I can do it.
No, that's disgusting. I mean, it might find a mountain. It's in there somewhere. What? No. Oh, what?
Fair
no, it's
enough.
not. Crazy. Yeah.
You
Is that a
can't
real
ritual.
thing that is currently happening in Modern?
It's a real thing that I saw a real deck list for. Whether it's
Okay. Fair enough.
I would.
we
I
can
would
debate
vote-
how real it
yeah.
is.
I mean,
would-
you just went through this whole spiel about how Belcher's a real deck, so I'm not going to argue with you on that.
There you go. It's for the best.
You said it.
So we now see why David is playing a bunch of things like the Power Stone and the Solar Rock.
Is he got an Ulamog in his hand?
He sure does, and
Oh,
he had it
okay.
in hand last game as well.
Yeah.
But it
he's-
certainly makes way more sense why we have so
Yeah.
much mana in our deck
We're
at this
here
point.
to ramp, and we want to play this Ulamog, and it's going to be a good time if we get to drop it.
Well, the bad news is Mike went cycle an Eldrazi into the Wumpus on turn 4 with colorless mana. So like,
We're at 11.
well, Pyro Surfer plus landfall attack for 9.
That'll do something. I mean, an Ulamog would certainly fix some of these problems.
No,
Yeah.
No, just no. Just straight no.
Ulamog
4
sure
damage.
wants to fix the problem.
4 more damage.
I love the 2-for-1 when it goes the other way.
Yeah, the 2 for having to use all of your mana and 2 pretty premium removal spells because the 6/6 is just going to kill us quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That doesn't feel great. Okay. 2 more 2-drops. Attack. We're not using our energy here, just in for 3. And then next turn we can set up a pretty big attack, making sure... it would not surprise me if Mike sandbagged a land this turn, just to make sure he can go wider with his Battlecry trigger.
And there's
And
the Skoa
David
going.
making sure that that doesn't happen, which absolutely. Wastescape Battle Mage, and that does look like a landscape in Mike's hand, so a double Battlecry trigger would have been lights out, I think.
Oh, yeah. I believe so as well. With David only being at 8.
I love this. Now we'll use the energy. We're in for 5. All of it has Menace.
Yeah. That's
The charge bug giving +1/+0 and Menace to a creature by using
That-
an energy on attack.
that card is so much fun.
Wastegate Battle Mage, no kicker. We don't actually want to kick the to bounce the Skoa. There's no artifact or enchantment to exile.
Correct.
Yeah. And David packing it up. Mike takes this round.
Here's,
cleanly.
Here's a meme card.
Here's a big dumb idiot that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mike didn't complain any.
That's true.
shocking.
He was winning.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Lewis
Hey,
Rowe.
Lewis.
Hey, I am on Rakdos.
Oh, wait.
You're here.
Yeah, Rakdos.
Rakdos isn't
Wait a second.
Grixis.
But you're on the camera, too.
Yeah, I
What's
said
going
I was on artifacts, whatever.
Okay. All right, so Mike, we've already seen kind of the power of his deck. He's got a good deck this week. This Gruul deck is very solid. You're 3-0 with this Rakdos deck.
I am.
Notably, it's not Rakdos Affinity, huh?
Well,
This deck really isn't an Affinity deck, though it has a few artifact creatures in it.
I believe that is correct, yeah. It's close enough to Rakdos Affinity to where it could have been called Rakdos Affinity, maybe. But you put me on the spot when you asked me what my deck was called, so I just said Rakdos, I believe.
It sure is those two colors right there.
Sure, blame the editor.
But, I believe, I don't know, it has been a little bit, I've slept since then, but we'll find out shortly on exactly how this deck
I've
goes.
slept since then, therefore the memory is gone forever.
I also don't want to say anything that might potentially spoil anything, so...
Nah, it's all good. So, Mike, starting off with his Devourer of Destinies, again, great start. Always happy to be able to set up your first turn.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy seeing it,
Okay.
but,
Forest, go. Swamp, go. Landscape, go. Riveting Magic.
yeah,
Mountain, go.
yeah.
Ah,
I'm-
a game action.
I'm playing Rakdos Control, apparently. Let's go. Land go.
There's a Terminate waiting to be cast.
Oh, man, I wish Terminate was in the set.
This set doesn't even need Terminate.
Yeah, it doesn't even
Let's
need
be real.
Terminate.
It's true.
Also, if you want to play Terminate, you can just draft Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
No,
Wait.
no,
Oh.
no. No, you can't.
Oh.
It's okay.
Is it 7 cards in a booster?
Yes.
So you get 2 boosters, mash them together.
Stop.
And then you get a booster.
Yeah.
Stop.
Probably
No.
better than just drafting 6 and there's no wheel.
No, it's still not good. Stop.
You seem uncomfortable. Is it perhaps some other choices of Wizards of the Coast that made you feel this way?
All right, look. If Assassin's Creed was a commander set,
Yeah.
I would love it.
I
It'd
did
be
not
wonderful.
like seeing this.
I'd be
card, by the
very
way.
happy. But it's not. For some reason, they shoehorned it into Modern. They made it so I can't draft it. And some of the cards explicitly reference my commander. In Modern.
Yep. That
Yeah, that's
sure is
weird.
what they wrote.
Definitely weird.
I hate it. Anyway, moving on. Hey, look, it's a pigeon that we paid full 4 mana for.
Sure did, but I think Peditto's 4-drop was better than mine.
But yours has flying.
His made 2 creatures instead of just 1, and they now he has
they
what
tap for mana.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana.
It's not going to be a problem. Certainly not right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's never a problem.
Yeah.
It's
like
a
we're
problem.
tapping
I think it's a
for
problem.
Oh, man.
No, it's the
It's
crazy.
yeah,
really
it's the thing.
nice to see at least one of our matches where somebody pays all of the appropriate colors to cast their spell.
We did it.
Yay.
And it took Mike.
I mean, I did it.
Thanks for playing Magic.
All right, so we have an Accursed Marauder to clear the Devourer of Destinies. That's nice and clean, but even better than that, we get to sacrifice it to draw 2 cards with the trigger on the stack.
Yeah.
That is a really well lined up play.
Good job. You did it.
Thank you.
No, I mean,
One of my favorite things to do in this format. When you're behind like that, there's
Yeah.
yeah,
so good.
an amount of luck involved, right? No other creatures, like if there was just a 2-mana dork or something,
Right.
that play looks worse. But yeah, just getting to cleanly kill the Devourer and get some extra cards off of it anyway. Molten
Yup.
Gatekeeper I like.
Yep.
And a second Accursed Marauder? Sure. Clean up the 5/3, trigger, shoot you for 1 with the Gatekeeper. Sure.
Yep. Call that
Okay, so we're shooting in response. Yeah, okay. So Gatekeeper gets shot, no energy left over, that's fine. So no ping damage. Gatekeeper, of course, having Unearth, so you can bring it back at a later time.
Correct.
And that is the...
Rakdos tap land, I believe.
What is the name of that card? It costs like 9 mana. It's 7.
Oh,
Is it 8?
yeah.
How much is it? It's a lot.
Maybe it's maybe it's
Yeah,
9.
I'll find it.
I don't know. It's somewhere between 7 and 9. It's a lot of mana, and then costs less when you hurt your opponent.
Blood
Yes.
soaked inside, I believe.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. 5 hybrid black red black
So
red.
7.
Okay, so yeah.
But yeah,
One
getting
less
2 turns to be able to
for-
cast your opponent's cards is real neat.
One less
Oh,
for each. One
okay.
life for your opponent's last turn.
So this was Get Back Gatekeeper mostly just as a removal spell?
Yeah, basically.
Alright.
It's just stealing stuff from the opponent's library. That's why I put that in my Rakdos deck. Yeah.
So, Gatekeeper's back in play.
Guess who's back?
Mike with a Dryad. Looks like you've kind of dealt with his threats. He's just kind of sitting on a bunch of mana at this point.
I mean,
Really,
top deck's
yeah, he's got. Well, yeah, you count the mana dork as mana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8 mana still.
9.
Oh yeah, because you can sack the thing.
Marauder, 2 damage there.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 damage here.
Yeah, that's better.
Sure. Return us to yeah.
Boop.
You for 1.
Alright.
Yay, damage.
That. Yay.
Clearing the
Top decking
board and
opponent with no permanents that
getting
matter.
into damage.
Yeah.
What do you mean top decking?
He has 1 card in hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about me.
No, I said top decking
Oh,
opponent.
top decking opponent. Yeah,
Opponent,
yeah.
He has no cards in hand.
That's great.
Yeah. Boop. Boop. Alright, I don't know what's in your hand, but this looks pretty good so far. Mike needs to top deck something, like, pretty relevant.
I have like 1 card. It's probably a land at this point.
Sure.
Casting this Priest of Titania.
That card is not relevant.
It's
That,
not a land.
that card
It sure doesn't block,
makes
but it
your
sure does
4-power flyer.
ramp you. Which is what you want to do on turn 7, 8, or 9, or whatever we're at.
ATB ramp, or, yeah, thanks, Wolf.
Sorry.
ATB, equip.
Yeah, sorry, I messed you up.
Second Gatekeeper, shoot you, attack for 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This game looks like we're either ripping it out. Okay.
There he is.
Look at this common.
Whee!
Look at this common just nullifying your entire game plan
Yeah.
by itself.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Oh, there's 3 blockers. Let's try to fly. Oh, it's got reach.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Can we put more keywords on this card?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's more room. Look at the text box.
Yeah.
Also, I like how just about every round Mike goes to explain a line, somebody plays something, and just immediately stops the line that he just said.
Yeah, easy game. Alright, so we're sacrificing a Molten Gatekeeper to draw 2. This looks to me like we're just setting up a turn where we have some extra damage, more so than we care about the card advantage. The Gatekeeper coming back into play is going to trigger the first Gatekeeper, putting Mike to where he really has to do something. And then if you do happen to have found any kind of a removal spell... Okay.
Cranial Ram.
Cranial Ram, boop you twice. So now the flyer is lethal by itself. Do you move the Ram?
I think I move it
onto-
onto the flyer. I think to make him
Seems not relevant.
have to trade.
He already has to trade. The flyer's 4 power.
Oh, that's fair. Then yeah, I just missed points of damage.
No, I mean he's gonna chump block everything, right? Because like if you attack with the ground creatures, he blocks with the spawn. And then
sure.
sacrifices the
Yeah.
spawn. Like you're not missing damage per se, but like you are gonna have to re-equip the
Correct.
the cranial ram. So like
Yes.
mana's not really an issue for you right now. You have a lot, but yeah, the extra power on the flyer doesn't matter. It's a forced block with the Writhing Chrysalis either way because it's got 4 power with just the axe.
Correct.
So
Yeah. So in hindsight, I probably should have just kept the germ.
either keep the germ or move the axe onto one of the Moltens, but yeah, probably just keep the germ.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's ultimately going to matter here. Like, again, this is Mike drawing probably the best out he could, and all it's doing is trading with your flyer.
It is a 2 toughness. So it's gonna die. It's a 2 toughness. That's +1.
just discussing the toughness that it had.
Yeah, it doesn't
And they
matter.
still trade. Yeah, it's still a trade regardless.
At the end of the
didn't matter.
day, the Chrysalis token, the spawn tokens are going to chump block and then get sacrificed for mana to do nothing. That Spymaster's Vault seems quite good after a big board trade.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think maybe at some point.
So it's like one counter. Yeah, a bunch of lands get discarded though. Move the exile the one that was unearthed and Mike back to top decking. Yeah, your board looks a lot better if you have a second creature.
Yeah,
Oh well, or
Remove
you
spell.
already have a Skoa. No, it's not a removal spell. It's 4 to the face.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's just.
I'm removing my opponent.
I'm thinking of Fury, which only hits creatures
Fair enough.
because it's similar
But
to
yeah.
Pyrokinesis. I don't know.
That card's banned.
Well, not in Legacy.
This is a trap. What are we talking about?
You could draft Fury
Yeah, you can draft Fury.
It's true.
in this set.
True. Good.
That's why I was thinking
Fury
of-
did nothing wrong.
But yeah,
Hashtag free Fury.
that was me showing Mike I've got this Skoa. There was no need to even untap. You're just dead.
And Mike endlessly complaining about you having removal.
Yeah.
Why would you draft removal?
I don't know, man.
Overrated. Spymaster's Vault, turn 1. Amped Raptor.
That's
What do we got?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah. So, didn't want to give spoilers. This start from Peditto just, like, it hurts my feelings watching it again. This is a really good start from him.
What are we taking? Okay. That's the Propagator? Or...
Believe so, yeah. But,
Tokens having Evolve is a something.
2 mana into 2 mana first striker into another 2 mana spell for free, basically, is just, yeah. It's...
Hey, Amped Raptor has the second highest win rate in the format.
Good card is good.
That's a turn 3 Writhing Chrysalis.
Yeah.
Because we got the ramp off of the Amped Raptor.
Yeah. Well,
That's terrifying.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Propagator in your hand.
Yep. And it's a propagator in his hand. That was
gonna
revealed.
evolve those
You were right.
tokens.
Yeah.
Tokens have evolve. Yep.
Yeah, so... Whatever you do, you're
not-
getting attacked for 6?
It's not good for me. It's definitely not good for me.
Okay.
Toxic Deluge, yeah.
Oh, but you have to pay 5 just to clear the Chrysalis?
I'm gonna sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yep, sure did have to pay 5 just to clear
Yeah,
the
I mean, you were going to get attacked for 6, so, like, you technically took 1 point of damage less
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
for
true.
what it's worth, but...
Was not a feels good.
No,
but,
of course not. Hey, okay. Alright, so, see, nobody can get through a game, I swear. You pointed it out, I see. Everything's fine-ish.
Ultimately, it was done correctly. It's fine.
My players.
Ow,
Guys,
We just
sweat it.
need
Team meeting.
a judge sitting right over there.
No,
Oh.
I can't do that.
No.
You can even hear people calling judge in the background.
Yeah.
I cannot just sit over and hover on a match.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Goodbye, propagator. Hello, 6-6.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
The Accursed Marauders looked real good in game 1.
they're still not bad. It's just
No, clearing the
unfortunate
propagators is
that,
something. You're gonna die to the 6-6.
yeah, most likely.
This thing has trample.
I'm at 5.
It's a tramply boy. There's a lot of swamps too. I don't know if that matters. Okay.
I didn't gain life because it's colorless.
True, that card's devoid. That's a 7-drop.
Yeah. Like I said, watching this game just
Now
makes
a
me
Cursed
sad.
Marauder would be good. That's
yeah, it's
another
true.
swamp.
And I think what's happening is I'm killing the spawn token and then playing the Marauder, I think.
Turn this to hand. Shoot the.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that the
Yeah,
way I
that's
tapped
very
mana,
good.
that's what it looked like I was doing. So
No, I mean, that's, like, considering the start that Mike had, the fact that you are in this game is pretty good. Just saying.
There's a 15-point life total
I
difference.
don't care
but
about
like
life
one is
totals.
not 0.
Yeah.
Life totals don't matter at all. Show me the burn spells in Peditto's deck. I didn't see any.
Paid 7 mana for Frogmere
Yeah.
Enforcer.
Oh,
did.
yeah.
How sad that was.
But you can cast it for
No,
7 mana.
no, I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need another mountain.
There you go.
Took 7, so this only costs 2.
I like this.
It's the MDFC that we were just talking about.
Yeah, steal 3 of Peditto's cards.
So,
You have 2 turns to play them.
really
Yep.
not great hit.
Until the end of my next turn.
It's not the worst hit I've ever seen. You can use colorless mana, colorless or any color. It's got to be any color. It's a Rakdos card. It says any color, right?
I think they've updated most of those cards.
I
now.
believe that one
not an update,
specifically
it's a new card.
says any color.
Yeah, mana of any type can be spent to cast it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because once
Mana as a city color.
it's a tutor for your opponent's deck, 1 black. Yeah, well, like they've Wizards has moved away from restricting the type of color that it really costs because it's more difficult to play in draft.
I
Someone's
mean, that all
playing in blue.
depends.
Yeah.
The Eldrazi card says you can use colorless.
Yeah.
So,
Praetor's Grasp.
Then each one.
Abstruse appropriation
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
states
Colorless.
colorless mana can only be
Yeah.
used as
Yeah.
any color. So,
yeah.
yeah,
There's 2 cards in the same set that steal from your opponent, and
Yeah.
one of them does restrict you. So,
correct.
Yeah.
all right. So we have a sad Frogmere Enforcer. We're facing down an Oozewag that can adapt. We need something a little more than that. Is that a signature slam? Is that the name of the card?
Yes.
The instant, and
It
it
is
puts a
signature
+1/+1
slam.
counter, right?
Yeah.
Then your modified creatures go and punch something.
yes.
So you can attack with your Frogmere Enforcer.
So what
It's an instant, right?
-3/-3.
Oh, that works too. Now it doesn't matter if he adapts. Counter on Pyro Surfer. Okay.
I have the landfall trigger
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. You didn't need to preempt all of this though. Like you didn't need to do all of this ahead of time. Yeah, that's fine. Ew.
So you're correct, I didn't, but it turns out that doing it preemptively was better because I would have just gotten blown out in combat.
Is that card an instant or a sorcery? I'm sorry.
Which
I don't,
one?
The
Signature?
fight spell. Or the
The
punch spell.
signature. The
That's an instant, right?
yes, it is.
Yeah, you should have just attacked.
That's fair. But it gives indestructible. The spell he just played gives indestructible.
I understand that.
Okay.
But Wither and Bloom is an
Sure.
instant and Signature Slam is an instant?
Yes, but so the reason my line specifically
Okay.
was the +1 counter
Sure.
from Wither and Bloom is sorcery.
Yes.
So I wanted both of my creatures to be modified
Okay.
for the signature slam. So I could have done the then he just top
Yeah,
decked
you're
sub
dead.
5
Haste
power creature.
Yep. Haste
With
creature, they
trample.
both have trample.
Yeah.
Yep.
1/1.
I guess I could have did the Wither and Bloom and put the counter on the haste creature and then just attacked.
Alright, so let's forget about the counter from the Wither and Bloom.
Sure.
So if you just attack,
Yeah.
then he can choose where he wants to block, whichever is whichever, right? Whatever he blocks, you Wither and Bloom after he declares blocks.
Sure.
Okay, you win combat, no matter what. So he has to do something.
Right, he just adapts.
Well, it depends which one he blocks.
Mountain go. Mountain go. It's the mirror match.
If he blocks your 4/4 and you Wither and Bloom, his
Right.
thing's a 1/1, and adapting just makes his thing a 3/3 and doesn't do anything.
True.
Okay.
There we go. Bolt that.
If he responds by using his spell, you signature slam,
Sure.
and you kill his thing.
Then he +1/+1s and indestructible.
No, you're responding to that.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant if he responds.
If he adapts, you don't
Oh,
care.
sure. If he responds with that to save
Yeah.
his creature.
Michael's taking an
Yeah.
amped raptor here.
Like, I think you just
know what
attack,
card
and
is.
maybe you only attack with the 4/4.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, the 4/4 shows that you, like, Mike knows that you have access to the signature slam, right?
it's true.
Molten
Yeah.
Gatekeeper, and that's turn.
If he's assuming that his adapt plus trick is good enough to beat your 4/4 because, you know, all you have, quote unquote, is the signature slam, then your signature slam plus Wither and Bloom should be able to beat him. And he only had one card in hand, right? So you're playing
Right.
around a trick, theoretically.
Yeah.
I think you just attack with the 4/4 because by doing everything and making it all face up, that's what led to him getting to keep his thing alive. And then you're not dead to the 5/3, but you're very sad.
Right.
8 mana for
Like
Michael at this
you can
point.
at least chump block.
Seeing an amped raptor.
Yeah.
What are we gonna hit?
Yeah, sorry folks to harp on the last game. Wolf
Yeah,
trying
that's
to keep us on topic and failing
No, I'm-
miserably here.
It's just set up. They're going through the same thing they did for the last 2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Energy, so
I see a very similar board from Mike's state.
Yeah.
So Mike obviously off to a pretty good start here.
Yeah, nothing's really left the board. There was a bolt on a guy.
Sure.
Something.
There's
Yeah.
a dead Void Pouncer.
Yep,
Here's a
that's the guy.
void pouncer that's getting kicked off of the
Yep,
amped raptor.
because Path of Annihilation is nutty.
Yep. Yep. 8 mana on turn 4 is a lot.
In for 5.
Getting punched for 5 out of nowhere is also.
Did we amp
That's
Raptor
a lot.
into the Void Pouncer?
Yes,
Is that what just
we
happened?
did.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Mike asked, I remember this because Mike asked if he could kick off of the Amped Raptor, and the answer is yes. Kicking is an additional cost. So the Amped Raptor basically says you may spend energy in place of a mana cost to cast the card. Anytime a spell has an additional cost, you still have to or have the option to pay it, depending on what it is. So if that had been a
Right.
Eviscerator's insight, the additional cost of sacrifice a creature would apply. You have to sacrifice a creature or artifact to cast that spell. So if you Amped Raptor into that, you do have to sacrifice something if you intend to cast it.
Sure.
Similarly, the kicker cost for the Void Pouncer, you have the option to pay the kicker cost, which you have to spend mana on and not energy.
Yep.
I always thought that card was terrible, but the more I see it in action, it kind of.
Discarding a skill, I believe.
Sure. Why are we discarding?
I don't know.
I activated the spyglass at the end turn
Oh,
because
okay.
a spawn
Yeah,
token died.
absolutely.
So I
Spymaster's
the-
Bolt.
That's the guy.
Makes
Whatever.
sense to me. Like I said, I like that card a lot.
whatever the mechanic's called.
Connive.
Connive, there. I connived at the end of Peditto's turn.
This is a
Backside of that Rakdos guy again.
Blood-soaked insight.
Blood-soaked inside.
You can't call it not by its name when you already looked up its name.
Yeah,
Twice.
there's something wrong with me. I mean, we all know this. But I'm just gonna not just be the first one to admit it. I know it.
I believe I have 2 of those blood-soaked insights in my
It
deck.
seems like it because I didn't see you turn that one around, but you cast the front face of one
Yeah.
last game.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 of them in your deck, and they're both facing opposite directions.
That's probably not true. I probably did turn it around and just didn't see it.
Nah. Nobody turns these things around mid match. Never happens.
returns go up.
Man, you have gotten so much value off of that thing.
I have 2 of those as well.
Okay, you have gotten so much value off of those things.
Yeah, I connived the Skoa so I could kill the Amped Raptor. Or the Void Pouncer.
Makes sense.
Equal to its mana.
And then I still think I missed a land drop and didn't get to play the skill in its turn.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You did clear all of the pressure here, though, right? Like,
Not really.
I mean, the other things can't really attack into your Molten Gatekeeper, other than the bug, right? The charge bug can chunk in.
The charge bug can
It
give
can bring
something
friends.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Menace.
Yeah.
Mike reading the card inevitably to complain about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he read all of it. I gotta ask him.
There's no telling. Probably stopped after the first sentence.
Read the first 4 words and then started singing a song in his head.
If I would have drawn a land here, it would have been good. I could have killed something with the Skoa.
The charge bug.
Probably the charge
The thing
bug.
that tries to
Yeah.
kill you.
But I did not, so we end up playing in a Curse Marauder.
That's probably gonna kill an Amped Raptor if I had to guess.
I don't know what the green creature...
Hydro Tamer.
That's a
the
Hydro
Hydro
Tamer. That
Tamer?
card's
Okay,
gonna kill
sure.
you.
Yeah, that adapts.
That card's going to adapt and then get given Menace by a charge bug. Whee!
It's fair.
And if he wants to, it's gonna pump the charge bug. Yeah.
Amtraptor's choice.
Yeah, I very much agree with this. The Amped Raptor is definitely the thing that's least valuable on this board in particular. It's never really attacking through this Molten Gatekeeper. I mean, that thing's got an axe on it, so it's, what, a 5/4? It's got a +1/+1 counter and an axe.
Yes. Correct.
If there was a gatekeeper holding an axe, I think I'd probably not want to go through that gate.
That's just... See talk. Alright. So, alright, we are giving it Menace. Are we exerting?
Okay. You said you want.
No.
No, okay. Alright, so we're in for 4 or 5. All with Menace.
Yep.
Yep.
It's rough.
I take 5.
Yeah.
And the 9.
So, one thing that Mike has the option of at some point is being able to use the Hydro Tamer on the Eldrazi spawn to make it be a threat where it isn't otherwise.
It's true.
Alright. We used our 2 energy so as to not discard at random. 4 mana. We have a colorless land for a Wumpus, and this is quite a bit of damage if Mike gets to kind of untap with nothing happening.
His deck was insane, by the way. But yeah,
Are
he
you-
wanted...
Okay, I was like, sacrifice the axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then here he is reading the card to make sure I can do that.
I mean,
And I can, in fact, do that.
yeah,
so-
yeah. To be fair, the card's called Eviscerator. That doesn't sound like I should be able to sacrifice an artifact.
That's fair.
It's very difficult to eviscerate an artifact.
Also, Peditto saying I don't play black cards, so he had
Yeah,
to read the
sure.
black cards. So,
I'm reasonably certain the only cards he knows in this set are the Gruul cards. But,
yeah, that's
you know,
probably true.
he sees a Writhing Chrysalis, he takes a Writhing Chrysalis.
Yo, same. But, you know, sometimes you don't see them.
That's true.
Or you don't see them until pack 3, and then at that point, I'm not taking it.
Just watch my drafts. I don't see them very often at all.
Yeah. It's a common.
Yeah.
But if somebody else states it before you see it, then
Sounds like a
Turns
rare to
out
me.
as you keep ranking up,
Yeah.
everybody else
Yeah.
knows the card's good too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they stop passing it after a while.
Oh, yeah.
It no longer,
Yeah.
no longer becomes hate drafting. It just turns into, I guess I'm drafting this today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate drafting's not a real thing that anybody should
Yeah.
ever do.
Well, I mean,
Less
It does not
competitive
help
draft.
you win.
I know, but, you know, not in a competitive sense. And we're drafting for among friends. Since,
Uh-huh.
anyway, no one take my advice. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. In case that was not overtly clear across multiple videos. I'm here to be the guy who's going like, what's a Hydra Brood Tamer? I don't know. Is it the right Hydra?
No, that's just Hydra Trainer.
Oh, never mind.
I was trying to figure out what
Yeah, no. I don't know why I added
what that card was.
Yeah, no.
It might be a card.
It is a card.
Is it from Dragon's Maze? Is that the one from Dragon's Maze? Because that would be
possibly.
funny.
Here comes the top land.
We're gonna find
Yippee!
out.
Because I didn't want to shock myself.
Is it? Okay,
I
hold
mean,
up.
bolt myself. Sorry.
Yeah, so like bolting yourself puts you dead to the Wumpus. I get
mind.
that. But aren't you kind of just dead to all of this stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But I don't think the extra mana does anything.
Well, it lets you shoot the charge bug, and then things don't have menace anymore.
That's fair, but the Wumpus still has trample.
It sure does. You do have blockers. One of them even comes back from the graveyard later.
That's fair.
It's also larger if Peditto wants to exert his thing. Alright. We are murdering the Hydra Trainer.
Just
Tamer.
to double down here. Hydra Broodmaster is a card. Hydra Brood Tamer is not a card.
Fair enough.
But Hydra Broodmaster is the best Hydra to cascade into, I'll tell you that.
This is bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just died.
Yeah.
There's a possibility
Alright.
if I would have played game 2 differently, I could have won game
Maybe.
2.
Well, that's okay. In any case, your deck looked pretty good. Mike's deck looked really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good win by Mike.
Both decks were really good. I did really enjoy that Rakdos deck. It was super fun to play.
Sure.
So
Well, in any case, congratulations to Mike Peditto. Reading cards or otherwise, he took down this draft.
it's true.
All right.
Yay, Peditto.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Night.
Bye.
Bye.